Too talented to do time. Lavinia Woodward may have assaulted her boyfriend while maybe being high on drugs, but she's apparently far too brainy to be subject to any proper punishment. The Oxford University medical student had a fight with her boyfriend last December 30th, which led to her punching him in the face and stabbing him in the leg with a bread knife. Still in a drink and drug-fueled rage, she then hurled a laptop, a glass, and a jam jar at him. He had to get stitched up, but ultimately survived. The judge reviewing Woodward's case acknowledged her as a bright, aspiring heart surgeon and claims punishment that would ruin her medical career prospects would be too severe. Right. Sound familiar? The 24-year-old was told that if she stayed off drugs and didn't stab anyone else, she could avoid prison when she faces sentencing in September. People are outraged, of course, since it's not like the same leniency would be extended to someone from a less privileged background. Oxford, at least, isn't just sweeping the whole incident under the rug. They're looking into her case and are still on the fence about allowing her back, jail time or not. Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support TomoNews at patreon.com/TomoNews. Sorry, folks. Justice isn't blind. Stanford sex offender Brock Turner is getting out of jail this week. A former Stanford swimmer jailed for sexual assault in June will walk free on Friday, despite having served just half of his sentence. 21-year-old Brock Turner was convicted on 3 charges and sentenced to 6 months in jail on March 30th for sexually assaulting an unconscious woman. Turner was originally charged with the rape of an intoxicated person and rape of an unconscious person. According to reports, those charges were dropped when prosecutors got the results of DNA testing. Prosecutors had originally asked for a 6-year sentence, only for Judge Aaron Persky to rule that a long sentence would have a severe impact on the college athlete. Turner's lenient sentence caused widespread outrage when a letter written by the victim detailing her horrific experience was published. The woman from Palo Alto, now age 23, was assaulted by Turner when she passed out outside a campus fraternity house in January last year. While he was serving his sentence, Turner was an inmate at the Santa Clara County Jail, where he was separated from other offenders due to the nature of his crimes. According to reports, Turner is likely being released early for good behavior. He must register as a sex offender for life. Protesters plan to rally outside the jail on Friday when Turner is released. Is there anyone out there who actually thinks he shouldn't still be locked up? Affluenza Dbag teen had going away party. Now only faces 120 days behind bars. The little Texas Affluenza douchebag who killed 4 people drunk driving and then fled probation with mommy's help may only have to spend 120 days in jail. After he and his sad excuse for a mother were captured in Puerto Vallarta in Mexico on Monday night. Ethan Couch and his mom, Tanya Couch, fled weeks earlier after officials began investigating whether Couch had violated his probation by drinking at a party, raising the possibility of real jail time. A high-profile douche hunt was launched after they bounced. Before they left, the dynamic dirtbags even had the audacity to throw a going-away party for themselves. Couch dyed his blonde hair and facial hair dark brown. The Einsteins then decided a tourist hotspot would be the best place to hide. Tanya Couch now faces charges of hindering apprehension, which could mean 2 to 10 years behind bars. But unfortunately, due to a technicality, Ethan may only get 120 days. Hopefully, inmates will give Ethan Couch a crash course on the pleasantries of prison life. Dutch father throws chair at judge who gave ridiculously light sentence to his daughter's killer. This chair represents the rage of a tormented father. Last year in southern Holland, a grandpa and grandma took their 2-year-old granddaughter for a bike ride along a picturesque bike path that runs near a road. A man, identified only as a Polish national, was speeding along the same road that day, going at least 120 kilometers per hour, or about 75 miles per hour. The speed limit is 80 kilometers per hour. As the speeder rounded a bend, he lost control of his vehicle, went off the road, and hit the cyclists. Grandpa, Grandma, and their little granddaughter were killed instantly.
When the sentencing of the 33-year-old Polish driver finally arrived last week, the grieving father of the little girl surely must have been expecting a harsh punishment for a reckless man who had taken his child and his parents from him. Instead, the judge gave the speeder 120 hours of community service or 60 days in jail. Hearing the sentence, the heartbroken father picked up a chair and threw it towards the judge. Here's the clip from YouTube. Local papers say the offender offered no apology or indication of remorse for his actions. Thinking about what that father must have felt as he heard the verdict makes you sick in the stomach. What would you have done if you'd been that dad?
Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support TomoNews at patreon.com/TomoNews.
Subway groper found not guilty by judge. In Kyoto, a 40-year-old salaryman accused of sexually molesting a woman on the subway was found not guilty. At the beginning of the year, on January 9th, a woman accused the man of groping her thigh. The man said he was drunk and it was possible he'd bumped her, but it hadn't been on purpose. The woman says when she confronted the man, he ran off, but the woman and the subway staff located him in a different carriage. The judge determined that the man touched the woman's thigh for no more than 2 seconds. How he did this, we're not sure, but the judge said there's no evidence that the man who touched the woman and the man she later identified with a staff member were the same man. So he has dismissed the case against whichever man was in court.